Hi, this is Vertigale with Black Desert Roleplayers. I'm going to be showing some of the tips and tricks I've learned to deal with changing your character's hair. There are only limited styles available, but you can kind of make them your own by changing the shape of the hair itself and also editing the color. As I mentioned in my last video, it can be difficult to get some of the colors that we would normally typically see in hair colors. I know brown is difficult to make in this game, so I wanted to show you some of the ways that I've been able to kind of, I guess, fake some of the colors that are usually accessible but aren't defaults in this game by layering different tones of colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is my character's head is free again, so I'm going to click the eyeball up here to lock her head in position. And the first thing you get to choose is the hairstyle itself. You get access to several free styles, and you can pan your character left and right so you can kind of check out what the style looks like. Anything with a golden P is not available for free. It's a paid style, so you won't be able to keep this style once you actually try to create your character. You'll have to buy it from their cash shop. So I'm going to go with this style because it's easy to show how the hair moves in this one. So the next section here is form. This is where you're actually going to be changing the hair shape and length, and this is a little bit confusing sometimes because you'll notice you have these lines and points here. And you can actually click and drag on each of these things, but it's kind of sometimes difficult to see what you're actually moving. So what I recommend is, for me, what works best is to skip this part for now, and then go take care of the color first and leave the form for last. So the default for this character is black hair, and you'll notice you have three things that you can change. Basic changes the overall cast of the hair color. So let's go ahead and just leave it for that as this color for now, so you can just see what's happening here. You can also change the shine in this section, how shiny you want the character's hair. Tip of the hair, as you might imagine, affects the hair from the tip and then upwards. Staining is set at 0, so you can't see it right now, but if you increase it, you can see it start to take shape here. And then range controls how far you'd like that color to extend up from the tip of the hair towards the root of the hair. So this section here, the tip of hair section, is a great way to get some of the colors that you don't have access to otherwise. I'm going to go ahead and set this back to 0 so I can show you what I mean. If you go back to basic, you'll notice that there isn't really a brown. Their brown is kind of red almost. And then they have some black and grays. And then their blonde is kind of almost a dirty blonde, so you're kind of limited. You do have some interesting colors here that you can choose from, but I would like to try to get a natural looking brown. So let's choose that for now. Go back to tip of hair, turn up the staining, and turn up the range. Okay. And then hairdo has to do with the roots of the hair, basically. And the staining set at 100, you can turn it down and get rid of this layer, basically. But I'm going to keep it up here, and then staining changes how far down it extends. So this is looking a little bit more natural, but not quite brown yet, so let's keep playing with it a little bit. I'm going to go back to basic and just kind of click around here. This is kind of a dirty blonde almost. That's not too bad. You can also go for, let's see if we can figure this out here. This one's kind of a rose gold. That's not bad. Definitely not brown, but it's kind of a pretty color. Got some purples going on here. Let's try to make this kind of a gray color, and we'll use brown as the tip of the hair, maybe. Yeah, see, it's not easy. It's definitely going to take some playing around. But it is possible. But I don't think that's working very well. Well, for now, let's go with that rose gold color, because I thought that was kind of pretty. Go back to this. Okay, so we'll keep it this color for now. And let's go to the form section, and this is where you will be changing the actual shape of the hair. So I'm going to pan out just a little bit. Oh, I guess I can't go that far. So you can click and drag, but it can be a little bit difficult to see what you're doing. Like in the face editing palette, you have control selections here, but you only have 2 instead of 3. The first one is placement, and that controls where the hair is going, whether it's going side to side or up and down. And each hair has about 3 sections that you can edit. You have this top section here, and it does have a little bit of a blue cast on the part you're pulling and editing. Then there's this middle section, and then there's a bottom section. And again, just like with the face editor, you can go and take whatever section you're currently editing back to default by clicking on this button, or you can click this button and take the hair entirely back to default, but you will lose all of your work. And then there's also rotation. You can give your hair a little bit of curl this way. So if you take this, you can see that it rotates the hair in or out. And looking at your lines here does kind of show you where your hair is going. I find this is a little bit hard to see what's going on here sometimes, but these lines do help you a little bit, and it's kind of difficult to keep panning in and out because you're able to see what's going on up here, but you can't see the bottom sections down here, and I have not figured out a way to move my character up. That would be, I think, ideal. Let's see here. Apparently I can mouse wheel click and move the camera position, so maybe that's something that would work. Unfortunately, I don't have a mouse wheel, but I can click on this mouse, so someone will have to let me know if that works or not. So I'm going to take that all back to default, and we can look at the back of the hair. This is where it can get a little bit strange sometimes. I'm going to go to placement again, and you can kind of make it a little bit more voluminous by pulling the top parts out like this. And if you're looking here, as you might think that the order is, if you're clicking on this section here, you're going to move this part of the hair. This section will move this part of the hair, and this one should move the one on the other side, but it's actually kind of almost three-dimensional because this one moves the back of the hair, and if you click on this one, you're actually on the other side of the head. But you can't really see that, so it can be a little tricky to see what's going on. But you can take your time. Whatever you are editing, let's put some curl in this section here. You can also change the length of that section with these sliders here. It looks like the hair is broken up into several layers, and you can change the length of each of those layers. And then you can also change the curl. Well, let's see, that one's not showing up very well. There we go. Oh, that's the length. This hairstyle doesn't seem to be able to display this slider very well. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So that kind of can give you a little bit of curl. Oh, I see now. So this bottom slider changes how much wave or curl is in the hair, and then this one can actually change the shape of the curl that you've put into the hair. Wow, okay. That's good to know. I discovered something new. So we've gotten some nice kinky hair. Probably not really great to run around in humidity with, let me tell you. Or maybe that's why it looks that way, because she was out in the humidity. Anyway, we're going to go take that back to default. So that is how you edit the hair. What I'm going to try to do is maybe create a chart of different combinations of colors to achieve other colors. And probably link those in the description at some point here. You can also check out our website at blackdesertroleplayers.com, and I'll try to post some different color combinations for achieving different colors of hair and also eyes, if I can work on that a little bit. So definitely check that out in the future. And I'll probably be making more videos as it occurs to me of different things that might be interesting to role players or just to Black Desert online players in general. So thanks for joining me.